Hi everybody, you're watching the one and only Suga and Sherm. I'm Mike Shermann, this is my partner, Hall of Famer, UFC Hall of Famer, Suga Rashad Evans. And we are back at our podcast, but we have a new location this week. It's the one and only HGreg Lux here in Pompano Beach, Florida, for the hottest cars on the planet. Ferraris, Lambos, Bentleys, you name it, Porsches, you get it here at HGreg Lux. Rash, thanks so much for coming back and getting back in the swing of things here. You've been away for a while, working hard. Tell me, what have you been doing, man? You've been so busy.
Man, Mike, I've been doing a little bit of everything. Working with the UFC a lot more, doing things with in Bristol, working at ESPN. They have a new show out there called After Tough that talks about, what happens after.
I watched it, I loved it.
Okay, after Ultimate Fighter show, season 31. Be sure to check it out if you haven't. But yeah, I mean, just been traveling, just working, man.
No, it's so good to see you working because, like I've told you so many times, you got that face, that personality, that smile. For you not to be on camera at some capacity is just an injustice thing to do.
It's a crime against humanity, huh?
Okay, it's just not right. It's not right.
I like that, Mike. I like that.
Your UFC knowledge is like so above and beyond that you need to be out there talking about the sport that gave you the name that you have and the love and everything. So God bless you, man.
The best thing about being in an analyst booth is I don't got to worry about fighting anybody. No. You know what I'm saying? So it's the fun part. Like I'm not fighting anybody. I can just sit back and just, do my research, take some notes, and just talk a good fight.
Hey, a lot of athletes now, like Tom Brady and Tony Romo, they're making more money in the booth than they were when they were playing ball.
It's the move, Mike. It's the move. It's something that, like I said, allows you to stay close to the sport.
I noticed now you're flying a lot to Bristol, Connecticut for ESPN, and they're getting you more involved in the show. The producers are kind of finding more segments for you to talk about because of your personality and your knowledge of the sport. Do you see that happening a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, they're starting to really give me different opportunities, and, I appreciate it. I'm here for it. I feel as if I've been just kind of dedicating a little bit more time and just kind of really trying to polish up everywhere I can, especially with the analyst role. I mean, when you're doing an analyst gig, you only have a certain amount of time to fit everything into an edible bite, but it has to be something that you're not over talking to people who you're talking to, and you're giving clear, concise what you think should happen, So it can be kind of hard sometimes when you kind of going off the cuff and you haven't really thought about it. So just a little bit more preparation.
So with that said, let's stick to UFC because there's been a lot of stuff happening in the UFC as of late, the present, and moving to July, which you have International Week. Let's talk about that last fight with Floyd Maywheter fighting this kid, John Gotti Jr., who I've never even heard of. I mean, I know who John Gotti is, but I never heard of John Gotti Jr. as a fighter. He had this fight in Fort Lauderdale that I thought was going to be a sideshow because the fight in London, 1,000 people came to that fight? So it was like a circus show, okay? But this fight, me being wrong, people really came out for this guy. I mean, watching a 50-year-old guy fighting a friggin' 23-year-old thug. I mean, people love that stuff.
It was quite entertaining. And it just wasn't the Mayweather fight. It was a really good card, and that's something that you don't typically see in a lot of boxing.
But they came out for Mayweather.
Yeah, they came out for Mayweather, but they had the card was kind of pretty eclectic because it had boxing on there, but also had some bare knuckle, which is
was it a sanctioned fight? Wasn't it a WBC or WBO?
No,
fight?
But they had commission there. They had the commission there. The commission was there. They had bare knuckle fighting there. It was a little something for everybody. But the main event was very entertaining. Normally speaking, you see Mayweather when he has these fights, he's kind of just taking his time, just playing around.
Getting a check.
Just playing around, right?
Yeah.
And you can see him kind of not look as like Mayweather-ish as he is.
How old is he now? 50 years old?
He's 50 years old.
Okay.
He's 50 years old. So, but I mean, you see him going against these guys, and you're like, okay, you expect him to kind of put it to him. So I say that to say in this fight, right out the gate, he went right at Gotti.
Did he really?
Right at Gotti, was just putting that pressure on, hitting him with some big shots, and he had Gotti covering up, and once Gotti started covering up, he was just playing around and toying with him. And they were talking so much trash back and forth inside the ring, and it was getting pretty heated, really heated. And then it reached about the 6th or 7th round, I believe it was the 6th round, where Gotti's frustration just reached a peak. Like Mayweather's just clowning on him comfortably, just doing his thing.
Well, he's a professional.
Exactly, and he was hitting with some good shots.
Yeah,
and Gotti was like, oh man, he's hitting me behind head to head. So his frustration just gets the best of him. He starts getting a little bit rough in the breaking situations, and then the referee was like, nope, ended the fight.
Right, so
he ended the fight. The dude went ballistic, went crazy, ran after Mayweather.
You saw it.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. He went after Mayweather, started throwing punches at Mayweather. Mayweather caught him at one punch. Then after that, it was complete melee. The ring was filled up with everybody throwing punches, and it looked like the ring was about to spill over and actually break and fall into the crowd. But then the crowd that was in the ring, they matriculated all the way down to where you walk out at. And they were fighting all the way in the backstage. So it was a fight that started in the ring, and it made its way all the way down the hall, all the way down the walkway, all the way to the back room, man. It was nuts, man.
Do you think that Floyd is ever going to stop fighting? I mean, these little sideshow fights?
I mean,
as long as he's getting paid, right?
Yeah,
he's worth $500 million, no?
Yeah, but at this point,
so is he trying to stay relevant?
It's not even trying to stay relevant. It's not leaving anything on a table. You know what I'm saying? Like he's squeezing that.
Would you do that too, man? Drop. Would you fight some kid right now who's not even a UFC sanctioned fighter? He's just he's an MMA guy, and get in the ring and fight some kid who's half your age just for shits and giggles?
I mean, if the money's right, yeah. If they're gonna pay me millions of dollars to do it.
Did he get millions of dollars for that fight?
I'm sure he got a couple $1 million to do it.
Oh, really?
I know he got like
for the gas to get back on his private jet, probably.
Yeah, I know he got I think $500,000 even just to say he'd even do the fight. Just to sign.
And he loves South Florida. He's here all the time.
Yeah, he's here all the time. I mean, and he has a gym in Boca.
Yeah, Mayweather Fitness, man.
Mayweather
which is a
Fitness
pretty
in
cool
Boca.
place.
You've been in there, huh?
Yeah, I checked it out, and it's kind of like an Orange Theory, but a little more boxing oriented.
Okay.
And it's a franchise.
I was wondering how it was.
It's not so bad. Believe it or not, it's in a lot of suburban areas in the country. Floyd is a very smart businessman, and he really did a good job. And he franchised them.
That's smart.
He franchised them.
That's smart. I feel like I got to see the concept because I'm thinking like, oh, just another boxing gym. But when you say Orange Theory, I can in my mind envision what that would be like to add like some boxing.
Yeah, he mixed it up, man. I mean, because Floyd is always
you never
smart.
get tired. You never get more tired than you do when you're like throwing punches.
Oh yeah.
You could be in shape, right?
Yeah.
But you start throwing punches, forget about it.
Oh yeah. Forget about it.
Yeah.
So back to the UFC. So Miami Heat was just in the finals, and they had every celebrity there from all over the place, and your boy was in there. Your boy Conor McGregor. I mean, this guy. He's another wealthy, self-made man. Self-made millionaire, and he's out there, drinking his ass off, his Irish whiskey, and I suppose he was grinding up some girl in the bathroom, and now she's saying he raped her, or he was trying to rape her, man. What's up with this guy?
I don't know, man. I feel like, idle time is a devil's playground, as my mother used to tell me, so.
You know Conor a long time.
Yeah, I know.
You know him since he was like a kid.
When he first got into the UFC, the first time I met him. Yeah. But, I don't even want to say that, these are allegations, right? And you're innocent until proven guilty, so I don't know what this allegation about how much actually meat is on the bone with substance, but I know he's a target, right? I know he's a target, and when you have that kind of money, you have that kind of notoriety, then you become a target. But at the same time, you got to make sure you tightened up. And I feel like that's the problem with Conor, is the fact that he hasn't adjusted to the new Conor. He hasn't adjusted.
Will he ever adjust to the new Conor?
I think he's going to have to.
Floyd Mayweather did it. He was kind of a bad loose cannon back in the day.
I think he's going to have to do it, because what's going to happen is he's going to start really getting the bills for these allegations and all these different incidents, and he's like, you know what?
Paying off lawyers and paying off.
So at some point you're going to be like, look, I can't go and do the things that I used to do and be the same way or act anywhere close to how I used to act, because now I got that target on my back. You know, everybody's watching me. And I feel like that's a little bit of what he's going into. And plus, he's in America. He's in this, you know, The Ultimate Fighter season 31. He's getting a lot of push from that. So he's in America, and he hasn't really been in America, like just sitting there, you know, like with this idle time, you know? So, you know, with money and time, trouble may come.
No doubt. Is he living in Vegas now, Conor, or is he living down here in Miami?
I'm not sure. I think he's in Vegas though. I'm pretty sure he's in Vegas. And here's the thing about it. Like, he's still doing the show for the Ultimate Fighter.
I saw that.
Yeah, but
he's head of one of the teams.
Yeah, he's a coach.
Team McGregor.
And he's supposed to fight Michael Chandler at the end of the season. But is
that going to happen?
Well, he still has to enter into the USADA pool, and that means that he has to be able to pass a drug test and not have any kind of, you know, any kind of steroids or anything in his body, right? Or any kind of anything that give him an advantage. So he's got to enter into the pool, and then once he enters the pool, he has to be in the pool for a certain amount of time before he can actually get cleared to do a fight. So I don't know. I think that it will happen, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. I feel like it may happen in the first part of next year, first quarter.
I would love that to happen. I'd love to see him in the ring again. He's great for the sport.
He is.
He's great for the sport, man.
He brings a lot of excitement. He brings a lot of attention, but it's got to be the right attention, right? We don't want our guys getting in trouble for things like this, and you know, these allegations, they're not good no matter how much, you know, if they're not true or not, you know, it's an allegation and it still looks bad.
What happened to your boy Agano? When are we going to see him back in the ring? I mean, that guy was the beast of all beasts, man.
So he's at PFL right now, and he's
PFL signing. They signed him. They signed Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to sign some of these high-profile guys.
Yeah, but with a deal with the PFL, he's got a really sweet contract where he gets the money that he wants to get. But not only that, he gets it so that whoever he fights gets a hefty paycheck too. They get $1 million. So, you know,
that's a sweet deal.
That's a great. Sign me up.
Get into the PFL, man.
If they sign me up to fight Francis Ngannou, here's what I'm gonna do.
You would fight him?
I'm gonna come down here to this location. First, I'm gonna fight him.
He's going to come down to HGreg Lux in front of all these Ferraris and all these Lambos and Porsches and Bentleys and Rolls Royces, and he's going to fight him.
And I'm going to get one of these cars. I'm going to get one of these cars, Sherm.
You got to see these cars, man. Hugo, can you check out some of these cars real quick?
Yeah, we're going to check them out. We're going to check them out.
So you would do that, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
it's a shame that he can't. Well, let's go back to John Jones, man, the greatest ever. That would be a fight of the century.
Him fighting John Jones? Oh, yeah.
That would be the mega money fight of the last 100 years.
Yeah, but the sad thing about it, it'll never happen. It'll never happen.
That's too bad.
And now, you know, John Jones has been staying and putting it out there that he's ready to retire.
I don't blame him.
I mean, I don't think anybody can blame him. I mean, he's fought for a really long time. He choked that dude out
in 45 seconds, man.
I mean, he's fought everyone there is to fight. He's beat everyone there is to fight. And most of the time, he beat him comfortably. It wasn't even a close fight. So, you know, when you have that kind of legacy, what are you really doing at this point, you know?
Rashad, you know, I love talking about fighting. You know, I'm a UFC fan, but I learned so much when I talk to you about fighting. John Jones is an amazing fighter, but he's not the most muscular. He's not the most in shape, but he seems to have moves like I've never seen before. He puts these dudes out with these wrestling moves that they're like ancient Chinese secrets and shit. How does he do that?
John is he's just gifted. He's just gifted. He's physically gifted for one, but his physical gifts, it almost takes a backseat to his cerebral. Yeah. Like, he's a very smart fighter, very smart fighter, and he's almost fearless out there. Yeah. You know, and here's the thing about it, like it kind of goes with the saying my grandmother used to tell me: the same thing that make you laugh.
Bringing up the grandmother stuff.
I'm telling you, the same thing that make you laugh.
I love to have met that lady.
The same thing that make you laugh will make you cry, and I say that in a situation with John Jones because you have John Jones with the ability to be the way he is mentally speaking and go out there and be fearless, right? And take chances. And he looks absolutely amazing because he's willing to take chances that his opponent's not willing to take. And that's the recipe for winning the fight.
Yeah.
When you're willing to take the chances that your opponent's not
He
going
puts
to take
that risk
chances,
out there.
you're going to be rewarded for that risk most of the time. But the thing that makes John what he's been known for in the papers and the tabloids is for that same fearless mindset outside the cage.
He's a bad boy. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
He's a crazy. He's crazy. And you know all these cats, and you stay so even keel. It's amazing, man.
I mean,
it's amazing.
I do my best, man. I do my best. I've had my wild times, but
No, come on, not Suga Rashad. Come on, you grew up a choir boy, man.
Yeah.
So I got a topic I want to talk about, man, because I've been wanting to talk to you about this for so long, and you've been traveling and stuff. And I know you're educated on this topic. Jamie Foxx, right? Jamie Foxx, we all love, great actor, Academy Award-winning actor, funny man, Grammy Award-winning producer, artist. He gets the vaccine, man. He gets the vaccine, and it messes him up. He gets a stroke. I mean, I'm saying it because that's the rumor out there. You said in the beginning when I was supposed to get that vaccine, Sherm, don't get that vaccine. Okay.
Oh, you mean the million times that I had to really be the guy and be like, no, don't get it, and bust your operation to sneak around me to get it? Do you mean those times? You mean those times?
When I was sitting there at CVS waiting for the pharmacist to come say, get out of there, get out of there.
Okay.
It's happened to a high-profile named entertainer, man. It's really sad. I mean, poor Jamie. I mean, I feel for the guy.
It's tough, man, because a lot of people were forced to take it and put in situations that they didn't really have no choice but to take it. And my heart goes out to those people and anybody who felt like they were in that position and needed to take it. But with this treatment, you can't expect your body or a magic pill that takes precedent over how you live your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that to me is the biggest thing that a lot of these pharmaceutical companies, they try to fool people to make them think that what you do in your life really has no consequence. All you have to do is just take this magic whatever, pill, vaccine, or whatever it may be, and you're going to be 100% okay. And that's just not reality. In order to have good health, it's something you work on. It's something you have to continuously work on every single day. And I didn't take it because I didn't trust.
No,
I didn't trust for
you.
one. But the fact that he's suffering from the situation and it sounds like it's really life-changing.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. I met Jamie Foxx a few times. The first time I met Jamie Foxx, we were in Vegas, and I was hanging out with him like the whole night. It was crazy. Like it was like one of those moments like, dang, is this my life, right? So I'm hanging out with Jamie Foxx. We go out to eat. We hanging out. We buddy talking all night, right? Then we go out to a club because he had an appearance. And then he's like, I'm gonna introduce you, man. I'm gonna introduce you. I'm like, all right, cool.
So you're at the club, you're chilling with Jamie.
So I'm at the club, I'm chilling with Jamie.
It's a real moment.
And Jamie's like, I'm gonna introduce you. I'm gonna get on mic and introduce you. I'm like, all right, cool, okay, cool.
In the club.
So he gets on the mic, he's like, yo, I wanna send a shout out to I wanna send out shout out to my man, Rashad Lewis. And I'm just like,
He messed up your name? What, you think you were Lennox Lewis?
He got me with the Rashad Lewis, man. He caught me with the Rashad Lewis. So what did I do? I mean,
You pulled the Mike Shermann.
I was Mike Lewis. I was Rashad Lewis, man.
Oh my! Did you tell him after that?
Yeah, of course I told him, but I mean, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is, man.
It's one of those situations where you think you're cool enough to hang out with the cool kids, and
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's a very sad, unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Well, I hope he gets well quick. I love Jamie, man.
I hope he does too, man. But
he's amazing.
But even just saying that, like, about the whole vaccine situation, it's still something that's not talked about, and people don't. Stories are starting to come out now about it, but I feel like there's going to be a huge fallout, from all this, and I just hope that people are okay.
Rashad, man, it's always amazing kicking it with you about everything that goes down. We're here at this gorgeous facility, HGreg Lux in Pompano Beach, Florida, which is one of the biggest exotic car dealerships in the world. It's absolutely incredible. And we're here at a podcast studio that they built strictly for us in the dealership. And if you saw some of these cars, you're gonna see them right now. They're unbelievable. So if you're looking for a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce, a G-Wagon, a Porsche Turbo. I mean, am I not saying something out there? I mean, they got everything you could think about in exotic cars. You got to come to HGreg Lux. Maybachs. I mean,
every car you can think of. Matter of fact, they out there having a little barbecue. I think I might.
Let me go get yourself a little something.
I'm gonna get one of these keys or something. They said I can go down to the warehouse and drive and take a little spin around. But I mean, the cars that I seen here, my mouth was just on the floor. And I'm not even a car person like that. I'm not really like, if I got a nice car, all right, cool. But I'm not really like, oh man, I gotta get this.
It's like a candy store.
But now
you go in here and they got all kinds of colors and flavors.
Yeah, it's opened up my palate.
It is, me too, man. I was just hoping it doesn't open up my wallet. Well, listen, brother, man, it's been amazing to kind of kick it with you today. We've been here at HGreg Lux for our podcast, Suga and Sherm. Make sure you guys tune into the Suga and Sherm podcast. Every week we'll have a new show coming to you. As long as this kid is in town and he's not flying to Vegas or going to Bristol or going to Colorado and all his other big endeavors he's got going on. He's a busy man. This is my brother, Rashad Lewis, and I'm Mike Shermann. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing Jamie Foxx here.
Okay, you got me.
Check us out, man. Suga and Sherm, once a week. HGreg Lux, coming to you live all the time. What can I tell you, Rashad? Thanks so much for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.